Liquid suggestion number 5, I think we're on, is attendances for events and better event communication overall. Now, what we saw a lot of in Gecko pre-Liquid, if you were to draw the line in the timeline there, was that oftentimes communications would be segmented by event status. So if somebody is invited, send them this message. If somebody is registered, send them this message. If somebody is attended or cancelled, send this message, which is good. It works. But the average number of emails sent to any given cohort, any given status, is like 5 or 6, which meant that you were getting obscene numbers of workflows to send obscene numbers of different templates that you were all having to manage. And Liquid has this fantastic property, as we already know and as we've seen in the previous examples, of being able to filter and scan conditions, and that makes it a perfect candidate for events. Now, the code in front of us here, which hitherto we have been completely ignoring, is very simple. We're basically saying if the status of the student within the event is invited, send them a message relevant for invited students. If they're registered, send them a message relevant for registered students. And if they've cancelled, tell them, well, we're sorry you've broken our heart here, but book another event because we do still really want to see you. Now, the secret to this working is an unusual contact tag, which, Gecko mail merge tag that wouldn't necessarily be apparently obvious at first glance. You could be forgiven for thinking that you would need event.status, but really what you're needing is the contact.status template tag. So we're basically checking whatever the status is in the event that this email is sent from. And we've got an event that we're going to be sending this from in a moment. Whatever your status is here, if that status is invited within this event, send them this message, and so on and so forth. And we have the standard else if statements before the end if to tell Gecko and Liquid when the Liquid code is finished. So let's get this set up and let's see what this looks like, and I'll show you how to easily test this as well. I've created a very simple event, no bells or whistles. I'm going to create just one workflow. And the workflow is going to be this. Send the email to the student's email address. Choose a sender. And I'm going to shove my workflow in test mode, meaning that this will duplicate and I can send this and I can add just one contact to the event. I can change the status within it and I can see the different emails that are sent. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like. Let's go ahead and add our first student and we'll add them as invited. Okay, that student has been added as invited, and if we hop over to our inbox, we should see, hey Johnny, you've still not told us you're attending. So RSVP here, and we're actually including a link to the student's RSVP page where, lo and behold, they're invited to the Liquid event. Do you wish to attend? And yes, I do. I'd love to register for that, thank you. So now that I've registered, that's actually going to trigger the next email because we're in test mode. Gecko's tracked that there's been a change to the status. So we now get an email saying, thanks for registering. We can't wait to see you at this particular time. Now, what if I make a mistake and I think, you know what, I didn't actually want to do that. There was an error. If I cancel my booking, exactly the same template, exactly the same workflow is going to send us our third email right here saying, sorry to learn you won't be joining us, book another event here, with a link to our events page. So a really efficient use of communications. Using Liquid templates means that you can absolutely boost how you're using your before and after emails and consolidate them down into just one template instead of having multiple.